Becoming a Deliberate Creator, posted on November 27th, 2011. The universe that you see around you was not created randomly, but it's a creation of specific intent or deliberate intent on the part of the body of conscious energy that you essentially are. Matter cannot take shape in the absence of an intent for the creation of that matter. In fact, all forms are just formless energy vibrating in a condensed manner in response to a focused intent. Every form that takes shape is a creation, and there is always a cause to it. A form cannot come into existence randomly, out of the blue. It always comes into existence out of a focus, either a conscious or an unconscious focus on the part of the energy that you are. As this human form, you are still the same energy that has created worlds. There is no separation. You are creating your reality as the consciousness focused in this human form. Your reality is basically the experience that you are having, and the experience that you are having is shaped by the way you are focused. A negative focus creates a negative experience. A positive focus creates a positive experience. To be lost in the negativity of the mind is an unconscious state of being. To become aware of the negativity of the mind is the start of conscious living. To disidentify from the negativity of the mind is beginning of an indirect positive focus. To be able to focus consistently and deliberately on the reality you wish to create in the absence of negativity of the mind is when you've become a deliberate creator. If you've read the post, Awakening, Transcendence, and Return of Focus, the phase 3 is when you start disidentifying with the negative momentum of the mind, and phase 4 is when the negative momentum in you has ebbed away completely so that you can now focus without resistance on your desired realities. This is why I call phase 4 the return of focus. You cannot focus positively in the presence of negative momentum. Most people who start understanding that they are the deliberate creators of their reality after reading or listening about the law of attraction start exercising their power of deliberate creation by focusing consciously on the realities they wish to manifest. But as soon as they start doing this, they realize the tremendous amount of resistance in the mind to focusing on their desired reality. Every time you try to focus on your desired reality, your mind comes up with hundreds of arguments about why it's not possible to manifest it. The mind gets cynical. It gets pessimistic. It runs into self-pity. It runs into emotional drama. It gets irritated. It keeps getting impatient. It keeps orienting towards fear. It projects negative outcomes. It talks about the meaninglessness of life. It talks about global suffering. It talks about being selfish. It feels insecure of new realities. It hinges onto self-hatred, etc. It's like a huge whirlpool of resistance. That's why I call it the momentum of negativity. This is the reason why a moment of awakening and positive focus immediately turns into doubt, uncertainty, and negative focus. A person who feels aligned with their joy on understanding their power of deliberate creation is soon mired with doubts and starts identifying with the mind's negative arguments. The truth is that unless you burn through all the negative momentum present in your mind, you cannot stand true to your focus on your desired realities. That's why it's always inevitable that you need to go through a phase of letting go of the negativity, the phase 3 of awakening, before you can move into becoming a deliberate creator. In fact, consciously letting go of the negativity of the mind is a part of becoming a deliberate creator. Your being automatically focuses on positive when the mind's negativity dies out. The being that you are in your wholeness is pure positive energy, and it's naturally focused on thoughts which are of a positive vibration. That's why you can sense a beauty and positive vibe in everything around you that does not have a mind. Without a mind, the matter is vibrating in its natural vibe of pure positive. However, when this being is lost unconsciously in the negativity of the mind, it takes on the negative vibration of the mind and fuels it with its attention, and thus ends up creating negative realities out of its focus. You are always a creative energy, but in your unconsciousness, you become a creator of negative realities and thus have a negative experience of life. When you awaken and disidentify from the mind's negativity, you come back to your natural vibration and thus automatically start focusing on the creation of positive realities. There is no effort required in this focus. It just happens automatically. It just happens very naturally. If you feel that you have to make an effort to focus positively, it means that you are faking positivity and that there is a huge amount of negative momentum present in your energy. You cannot deny the negativity which is present and try to escape it in some way. You need to let go of the negativity in the light of your awareness and thus dissolve it with intelligence and wisdom that comes when you are aligned with your being nature as you rest in a space of awareness, what I call relaxed awareness. You need to understand that it will take time for the momentum of negativity in your mind to dissolve in force. It usually takes a few months or a few years, depending on the load of negativity you are carrying and how receptive you are to letting go of it. It's a process, and it unfolds gradually, and as it unfolds, you will see positive shifts taking place in your external reality. The more understanding you gain about the science of life, about your true nature, the easier it is for you to keep letting go of the negativity of the mind, which constantly creates questions and doubts in you. Letting go of control to regain total control. If you are unwilling to spend a few months in the process of letting go of the mind's negative momentum by disidentifying with it, you are just delaying your arrival at the place of becoming a truly deliberate creator. It's next to impossible to stay in a consistent positive focus in the presence of a negative momentum in the mind. Don't waste your energy trying to force yourself into thinking positive in the midst of a high negative momentum in the mind. It's like adding resistance to resistance, thus creating even more friction. Just let go and allow the mind's momentum to die down. Rest assured that it will die down in the absence of the fuel of your unconscious focus on its negativity, just like a car slows down to a halt when you remove your foot from the accelerator. Phase 3, the phase of letting go, is the most challenging phase in your journey towards becoming a deliberate creator, because in this phase you are asked to let go of deliberation or control and allow the mind's negative momentum to come to a rest. It's like being passive for a while and allowing the mind to die down in momentum and intensity. Once the mind's momentum has ebbed away, you automatically become active in your positive focus and effortlessly start focusing on your desired realities on a consistent basis, thus allowing the creation of these realities. Phase 4 is the most enjoyable phase because you are now no longer facing resistance from the mind and thus can exercise your power as a deliberate creator with total freedom. When the mind's negativity is no longer in control, your being is truly in control.